Hey everyone, Professor Baldwin here, and today we're asked to solve a quadratic by completing the square. Remember, when you're completing the square, your leading coefficient needs to be 1. That's true here. And you need to move your constant value to the right side. So let's do that. Let's subtract 4 from both sides. That gives us x squared plus 2x equals -4. Now we can complete the square. And to do that, you need to find b over 2 and then square it. Well, b is 2, so we have 2 over 2 squared, or 1 squared. And to complete the square, we're going to add 1 to both sides. Now remember, I like to write all of the steps out because this value, what we simplify before we square, is really important. I'll remind you again in a second. So we completed the square, and that tells us to add 1 to both sides. That gives us x squared plus 2x plus 1 equals -4 plus 1. Now we need to simplify that right-hand side. The left stays the same, and the right is a -3. Remember, the reason you complete the square is because the left side becomes a perfect square trinomial. And if you can't remember what that factors to, that's what this value above tells you. You're adding 1. So the value that you have simplified before you square it is what your perfect square trinomial factors as. So here it factors as x plus 1 squared. Now we can use the square root property. So we'll take the square root of both sides. On the left, that gives us x plus 1. And on the right, we get plus or minus the square root of -3. Remember that when you take the square root of a negative, you get I. So this simplifies to I times the square root of 3. Now we can subtract the 1 from each side, and we get our final answer, which is x equals -1, right? We want the real number component first, plus or minus I square root of 3. Remember, it should always look like a plus bi.